Well, things are getting pretty scary in the United States. While tens of thousands of people, mostly young men, surge across the southern border from Mexico, including people who are known to wish to cause terror on United States soil, the swamp in Washington is focused on preventing light being shed on its own corruption involving Democrats and especially President Joe Biden. One of the first things Biden did when he became president in 2021 was cancel the China Initiative, a Trump policy of restricting the access Chinese academics had to American universities and research institutes. It was common knowledge that the Chinese academics were stealing intellectual property and sending it back to China. The cost of this was routinely estimated in the hundreds of billions of dollars. Could there be a link between Biden cancelling this policy, which didn't make a lot of sense, and the millions of dollars his family subsequently received from China via a network of secret companies? Well, Republican Congressman James Comer would like the answer to that question and has approached the FBI to help him.
Where are these whistleblowers?
Well, unfortunately, we can't track down the informant. We're hopeful that the informant is still there. The whistleblower knows the informant. The whistleblower is very credible. And all we're asking the FBI with respect to the Form 1023 is, what did you do to investigate this allegation? And they send us back a very patronizing letter basically saying, just trust us and don't worry about it. I mean, this is a pattern of behavior by the FBI that would suggest there's been a cover-up for many years with respect to the Biden influence peddling.
Are there whistleblowers or informants missing right now?
Well, with what we've investigated and the people that we've tracked down, going back to the CEFC, the two main players in that business, as well as all the Americans that were involved in the different Biden influence peddling schemes, as well as the Serbian national. The 9 of the 10 people that we've identified that have very good knowledge with respect to the Bidens, they're one of 3 things, Maria. They're either currently in court, they're currently in jail, or they're currently missing.
Witnesses and whistleblowers are currently missing? Doesn't that kind of thing only happen in Hollywood thrillers? Well, it does, but usually in Hollywood thrillers, the person trying to chase down the truth is a dogged investigator or journalist, not a congressman with a Kentucky drawl and an expression of benign bewilderment. The Washington swamp is hoping that Joe's problems will wash over the electorate the same way this allegation has.
Said the evidence is overwhelming and beyond any reasonable doubt that the CIA was involved in the killing of your uncle, a U.S. president. What is the evidence?
Well, you know, there's millions of pages of documents, of CIA documents, of transcripts, of recorded conversations from the Cuban embassy in Mexico City. It's hard to summarize the evidence. There are, as I said in that podcast, there are confessions of people who were directly involved in the plot, who were involved in the planning of the plot, who were peripheral to the plot. There's a 60-year cover-up. The Warren Commission was run by Alan Dulles, who was the head of the CIA, who my uncle fired, and then insinuated himself onto the Warren Commission and essentially ran the Warren Commission and kept this evidence from the Warren commissioners. By the way, when Congress, 10 years later, investigated the crime with much more evidence than the Warren Commission had at its disposal, Congress found that, yeah, it was a plot. It was a conspiracy. There were multiple people involved. And most of the people in that investigation believed that it was the CIA that was behind it.